Now, local media report a fresh air raid by the Saudi-led coalition on the Yemeni capital, Sana'a. 9 people have been injured in the airstrike. 3 of them are now in critical condition. Attack targeted a food depot in Sana'a. It also caused damage to nearby homes. There are reports of similar airstrikes on other Yemeni cities, including Sada and Hajjah, as well as Taiz, which was also bombed on Friday. Number of victims in Friday's attack has now increased to 18. These attacks are the latest in the ongoing Saudi onslaught, which has killed hundreds of thousands of Yemenis over the past 6 years. Joining us now is our Press TV correspondent Abdul Latif Al-Washadi from Sana'a, and Scott Bennett, former U.S. Army Psychological Warfare Officer, joining us from San Francisco, California. Gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you both to the program. Abdul Latif, we'll start with you to get the latest from the Yemeni capital. Go ahead.
Actually, yes, the Saudi planes have conducted several airstrikes on the capital Sana'a. They targeted Al-A'nab neighborhood. 16 people were either killed or injured in the attack. Most of them were only just civilians walking the streets or in their homes. The attack has caused heavy damage to most of the houses nearby the bombs. The Saudi warplanes keep targeting civilians. Yesterday we had a war crime. We today saw the pictures for the victims of the attack of yesterday in Taiz. We saw the pictures of the children who got killed yesterday by Saudi warplanes, and this is a war crime. The international community should act or react at least with these crimes committed by the Saudi coalition. The Saudis are escalating their attacks significantly against the Yemeni people, against the civilians. They will not get anything from these attacks. They will only provoke the Yemeni people to keep supporting the Yemeni army. They will push the Yemeni army to press ahead with its operations, whether on the ground or deep inside the kingdom. So the Saudis are only escalating their attacks against civilians, and it is a shame that we see the international community keeps its silence.
Thank you, Abdul Latif. And Mr. Scott Bennett, I'd like to welcome you to the program. Time and again, Scott, Riyadh has said that they are only targeting military installations on Yemeni soil. Today we saw that that wasn't the case. A food depot in near a residential area was targeted. Yesterday, a home in Taiz province, where we thought yesterday almost 24 hours to the minute, because I remember I covered it exactly 2:30 a.m. Tehran time. Yesterday it's 2:38 right now Tehran time, Scott. It was at the time 16 reported dead, 2 children in that home. Now we know there's 18 civilians that were killed in that airstrike. But they get so much support from the West while we know they're targeting disproportionately civilian infrastructure. Help us, Scott, make sense of it.
Well, there's no sense when it comes to this being any sort of a movement towards peace or reconciliation or the cessation of hostilities. This is only a U.S. Sponsored and supported act of belligerence, and in fact a crime against humanity, for which the World Court and the United Nations and all respective international bodies should condemn for the poisoning and the death of children and the biochemical terror warfare that the Saudis have exercised on Yemen, and the killing of children. This is precisely what the Western democracies are supposed to stand up against. But of course they're not, because it is a tool, it is a pawn, it is a information warfare tactic that the West is going to try and amplify and expand to create more hostility. So I think there's a variety of reasons why this is happening, of course. One is the ineptitude and incompetence of the West, and specifically the zombie sleepwalker Joe Biden is giving the Saudis a green light that they can do anything and everything they want anytime they want, because the West will not have any remote hesitancy or resistance. The other possibility is Washington is fully sanctioning and in fact encouraging this strike to try and create a proxy war, try and create more conflicts for Iran, and try and draw Iran into a conflict like a form of using this to exhaust them militarily. I don't think Iran will fall into that, but this is an example of the Saudi war crime at its worst, and I think it's also being coordinated from Israel to hide a lot of their hostilities, as well as the West's preparation for war against Russia and Ukraine. And again, a lot of these international conflicts provide the smokescreen cover to hide the ineptitude of the Joe Biden false presidency administration.
Thank you, Scott. Lots of great points there. I want to thank you, gentlemen, both for joining us on the program. Abdul Latif Al-Washali, Press TV correspondent, joining us from Sana'a, and Mr. Scott Bennett, former U.S. Army psychological warfare officer, joining us from San Francisco, California. And viewers, that's a wrap for the segment of your Press TV's News Review program. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye for now.